And we are back. And as promised, in the studio with us this morning is Dr. Lawrence Schovanec, president of Texas Tech University. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning.
President.
Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Matt.
Let's get right to the big news, the biggest news.
What's that?
Oh, that would be the win over OSU.
That was a big deal.
It was a big win.
And I think everybody would agree that we really needed that.
I'm just going to say this. I'm just because we have a new coach and everybody's trying to learn the system and everything. I was a pretty big pessimist this year, and I really was kind of wondering if y'all could win that one. But
that was a big one to win too.
I was very, very excited to see them pull it off. Especially, I mean, they were a ranked team at the time. They were ranked 24th, and in Texas Tech. That was their first major home game as well, and it was just nice to see them really step it up.
So that was Coach Wells' first win over a Power 5 team, and we play another ranked team this weekend as we go to Waco.
And Baylor has been looking good.
They have. I'm looking forward to seeing that stadium for the first time since we don't go to Jerry World anymore. But I think everybody agrees that Matt did all the right things prior to the season in terms of engaging the community, and I think that's just the beginning of many more.
Yeah. I'm not putting him down in any way. Like I said, I'm just, when you have a brand new coach and he hasn't had time to do his recruiting or anything, but he's putting in his system, you just never know how it's going to turn out.
And you also have to keep in mind that though Jed is a very talented athlete, he probably was second or third on the depth chart at the beginning of the season.
He sure did good last week.
Let's do, since we're talking athletics, college athletics, let's mention this one thing quickly and briefly. California coming up with this idea of paying college athletes. I'm sure you're up to speed on the story. Your thoughts?
Well, that is that's been in the discussion for many years. There's a case, it was NCAA, Alston versus NCAA, in which, actually there was a case that preceded that, where a basketball player from UCLA filed a case against the NCAA for wanting to get benefit from their images. There was a judge who heard that case and ruled in favor of the student athlete. It was appealed to the 9th District Circuit Court of Appeals. And though they maintained the finding for the student, they revised it that the student could not receive benefits from their images while in college, kind of recognizing the pro-competitive advantage we need to be in amateur sports. But now the state legislature has basically changed that in California. So this has been going on for some time. There's also another big case. It's called Alston versus NCAA, where they're asking for compensation beyond the cost of attendance. So these are things that could have a dramatic effect on the status of amateur sports.
So let me ask you this. This is one of the analogies I use as far as this is, if let's say you are a theater major or something. You still have the right to go out and do commercials and make money off of your image. On the other hand, athletes don't have that right, both of them going to college at the same time. That's,
I think, the basis of the argument. But I believe that when the NCAA's contention is it is an amateur sport. We provided free education, and even in the Power 5, financial support beyond the cost of attendance. So you also have to wonder about the viability of amateur sports when these kind of issues come into play. So, Matt, it's going to go on for a while, and I imagine there will be more changes. We've just seen the beginning of it. Yeah. But what's interesting about this is, you guys, we were talking about that. We were going to talk about the ribbon cutting. Everybody wants to talk about athletics.
No, and that's why I was saying we do want to move on. We want to talk about the vet school. We want you to bring us up to speed on what's happening with that.
Well, the ribbon cutting for the vet school was about a month ago or so. It was a wonderful event. About a week prior to that ribbon cutting, the coordinating board made their site visit along with 3 vets who are part of an external review team. We have gotten that report back, a draft version. It all looks very, very good. So things are going well there. And then last week we had two significant ribbon cuttings on campus. One for the Experimental Sciences building. That was an $82 million project, and the other, the Majan Theater, which was that's a $43 million renovation. And I think the point that needs to be made there is those are wonderful additions to the campus resources, neither of which could have occurred without external support. In the case of the Experimental Science Building, the state gave us $70 million in support through the tuition revenue bond, and then the Helen Jones, the CH Foundation, and the J.T. and Margaret Talkington Foundation provided a total of $23 million for the Majan Theater.
Wow.
And that's really the way things have to go. Really, to get where we need to be is leverage our resources with generous donors.
Enrollment. Do we have final numbers?
We announced our 12th day numbers. They were slightly over 38,000, and then we always lose a few students as the semester progresses, and so then our 20th day, which is the IPA data, is a little bit below 38,000. So the coordinating board numbers we turn in is a little over 38. So the point is, we think we're going to be very, very close to 39,000 next year. And beyond that, we'll take a serious look about just what our ultimate capacity should be.
Quickly, let me circle back here and ask, when do we expect to be the vet school to be open and accepting?
The first class will be in the fall of 21. And in fact, last night I called Guy Lonergan, who's the dean. I spoke to the provost as well from the airport. I was coming back from D.C. just about the check on the status of our hires. We've posted around 19 or 20 openings for the faculty, and we have to hire beyond that about 10 more. So that's in progress right now. And so the next 20 months are going to be very busy.
Okay, it is 8:15 as we move along this morning, and Dave and Matt on KFYO Mornings will return with Dr. Schovanec and more about, of course, Texas Tech University, one of our very favorite subjects, right after this. News Talk, 95.1 FM, 790 AM, KFYO Mornings. This is Dave King and Matt Martin on the air.
Yeah, real quickly, just want to remind you all out at to go to Sharpshooters at 5220 Marcia Sharp Freeway. They're the biggest gun store in West Texas, and you can get your guns, knives, safes, and ammo there even. So if you're looking for a gun right now, a few of the things that they've put out there, you can go see some pictures of these nice guns out on their Instagram and Facebook page. They have a beautiful picture of a P365 from SIG, and it's completely black. It's very nice, and they have a few other things up. So if you want to check out what they've got going on over there, check out ssguns.com or follow them on Instagram and Facebook. And don't forget, it's been really nice outside. It may be a little windy today, but just the weather's been great for going out to the gun range. So if you're looking for a gun range, go to lubbockshootingcomplex.com and check out Lubbock Shooting Complex. You can shoot there for $16 a day. That's for the whole day. And sharpshooters, of course, I always tell you to go to their website, but I would just go to their location, 5220 Marcia Sharp Freeway. It's just right off of the slide on Marcia Sharp Freeway. And so we're going to jump back over to Dr. Schovanec. Dr. Schovanec, you talked about ribbon cuttings, but some of the things that I've been interested in, I know that y'all are looking at straightening out the road over there close to where the Coliseum was. I think it's the Drive of Champions.
Right, Matt.
And y'all have some other plans that may or may not happen. What are some of the things y'all are looking at?
So the area you refer to is with the Coliseum and the auditorium we're located, and I think everybody agrees with the grass there. That's really a nice space. And so we will, in this year, be moving the Drive of Champions north to accommodate renovation to the baseball park. The first phase of that will be an addition along the left field line. Kirby Hocutt had a meeting about 2 weeks ago with a group of supporters, and he went over the plans for the extensive renovation in the park. But the first stage would be the left field addition, adding kind of a Spanish Renaissance style facility there, and then ultimately going around the whole field.
So it's going to kind of like match the rest of the campus.
It'd be, if you look down the left field line, it kind of looks like a trailer house on stilts. and that's never really fit with the campus. I made that comment to Ken Hance. He did not appreciate it when I said.
Now you've told everybody.
Right. I hope that doesn't get back to him. And then, as for the utilization of that space, I've mentioned we do probably need one more dormitory. That would be one place we could put it. But we've also begun to discuss we need new space for the Rawls College of Business. It's sort of bursting at the seams, and the dean there has even suggested that might be something we would do. So those are two possible.
And the Rawls School of Business is fairly new. It's one of the newer buildings on campus.
So are you talking about the possibility of adding on to that building?
Well, from when they built it, they had one addition already. That was back in 2016 that we dedicated that addition. And now, in fact, just yesterday, the dean sent me a formal request to proceed with the design, the kind of exploratory aspect of looking to adding more space. And she had come by to visit once and mentioned that would be one spot they would like to look at. In addition, in terms of athletics, Kirby Hocutt is considering renovation of the south end zone. That would be down the road. In addition to the football training facility, and the dining facility is going up right now next to the new Frazier Pavilion. If people haven't seen that, it's a wonderful renovation, and the Alumni Association is to be congratulated for what they've done there. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, it's just incredible. I can't even begin to keep up with all of the building that is going on out there at Tech. Now, and you've got the new practice facility going up too.
Right.
And looks like it's like they had all the steel up last time I was.
That's right. Right.
What is going to be there other than a basketball court for them to practice?
So, Regent Dusty Womble made the significant gift that enabled us to begin with that $30 million project. It's going to be a practice facility. It'll be none better in the country. But we've already drawn up plans for what's going to be called the Masked Rider Pavilion right north of there. And we'll keep the horse there. We'll keep Fearless Champion there. And
cool.
And then we'll move the statue of the Masked Rider over there in front of it. It's going to be a really neat building. So that will be a nice drive. And also, if you just think about it, when we broadcast from United Supermarkets Arena, to have the Masked Rider across the street, it's going to be some wonderful shots.
Wow.
So there's always something going on. I had my ag teacher from high school was my guest in my suite at the last game, and he had been a trustee at Oklahoma State, and he had never been on our campus, and I could tell you he and his wife were blown away by what we have.
The improvements that's been made. I mean, I've been here decades, and it's just incredible the improvements that's been made out there, and the amount of building that's gone on.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. Let's see. We only have a couple of minutes or so. We want to talk about National Merit finalists? Or?
No. Well, I think you're looking at some of the data for enrollment. I think what was significant this year, as we continue to have these record enrollments, I think what we're more proud of is the fact that we've been able to retain students at record levels. Our graduation rates are starting to go up. We hit a record for first-year retention. In the fall of 18, that was a record freshman class, nearly 6,200, and yet we retained 87% of those students. 5 years ago, we were around 82. I mean, that's what we need to continue to do.
That's an extraordinary high level, is it not?
It's good. It's much better. Our goal is to be at 90. But I think going forward, in fact, when I'm in Waco this weekend, I'll be meeting with some community members there. We'll be celebrating our 10-year anniversary of our relationship with McClellan Community College, where they do 2 years at MCC and then 2 years with Tech. We want to grow our presence there. We have great support in that community, and I think going forward, you're going to see Tech enroll more and more students at our regional sites. There you have a lot of students who have some college credit but no degree, and in order for them to get that degree, we have to be able to provide them access where they're located, non-traditional students in this sort. So that's going to be something you're going to see more of going down the road.
So we only have a couple minutes left, but you have a sad kind of anniversary today as well.
Yes, today is the anniversary, a 2-year anniversary of the shooting of Officer East.
God, it doesn't possibly seem like it's been that long.
I remember it so vividly, and that's something that will always be with us. And as much as it's such a tragic event on our campus, one has to keep in mind that family lives with that every day.
Oh, yes.
And so that will always be a sad part of our legacy. Much has been done, I think, to improve safety measures as a result of that, and that's something we pay a lot of attention to.
Well, that about wraps it up. We're running up against the clock. Always love to have Dr. Schovanec
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Matt.
So much to talk about at Texas Tech. Looking forward to your very next visit.